on behind his mineral line. And there was like 3 cannons there that took his expert.
Oh, that's so brutal.
And he was so mad after that game because he thought he was good. And he said that he was going to crush lalush. So let's see if TLO can stick with his words.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and the one thing that I'm slightly concerned about on this map is that the little one, really well known for being super creative, doing zany, crazy, dumb stuff all the time. Sometimes it works amazingly. Other times it doesn't work so well. The big risk whenever you're doing something creative is the opening, because most openers are people who have done a strategy over and over and over and over and have 1 or 2 really nice timings. And no matter how clever or intuitively genius your build is, if it is not well practiced against those builds, you can end up with a lot of goofy losses. So I'm especially worried about the wide open ramp in this matchup.
Yeah, both players, I think both players are ready. We are just about to find out. But as you say, that's one of the things, even though it is a very macro-orientated map, as you were saying, the ramp is a big issue because it's so hard to defend. And even if you don't block on the ramp, and if you go for an expansion, not only do you have to block your ramp, but you have to cut the natural up below the ramp and use that as the wall, which is so big. It takes like 9 roaches to actually wall that off.
And it looks like both players are ready, so let's hear a cheer if you would like lalush to get that second spot.
And make some noise for LiquidTLO.
Oh my goodness, TLO, always a crowd favorite.
Even though he's playing about 150 meters away from us, I'm sure he heard that.
No doubt, little one spawning in the top position as the blue Zerg in the right. We have lalush as the red Zerg. Now, one thing I just want to note again, this is a deciding match. This is the last group stage match of the day. This will be wrapping up shortly, and after this, it is going to be at 8 p.m. We'll begin the octafinals. That is the round of 16 matches. The players need to reorganize and, of course, redraw maps. So there will be a brief break after this game before heading into those final series. But don't go anywhere because, of course, it is the round of 16. All the best players duking it out.
And no longer, like you said, no longer will be best of 1 anymore. It will be best of 3. Which totally changes the entire mindset of every player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely changes it.
In the meantime, it looks like neither player is doing anything particularly goofy. Both of them just sticking with very standard, getting lots of drones early on. We'll be seeing deviations in just a moment, whether or not the players will be favoring an early expand or that slightly more common gas pool opening. We do see both players just continuing to mass up drones.
Yeah, it looks like both players will be going for like a... well, actually, no. lalush goes for 14 gas. Will he be going down for the 14 pool, though? That's what we'll have to find out. TLO, on the other hand, still has got nothing. Looks like TLO will be going for 15 hatch. So TLO is going to go 15 hatch against 14 gas, 13 pool. This is kind of fast. Usually you see players going for 15 gas, 15 pool, or 14 gas, 14 pool. But TLO opts to go for this. So he's actually going to have to defend against a lot of early aggression from lalush. And TLO has the overlord in position, sees the gas, sees the pool timing, and knows exactly what's going on.
Now, it looks like that this, very interesting spawning pool placement by the little one, helping to try to create an early wall, early contain against that obvious Ling Baneling potential attack. lalush, I really would not be surprised to see him do that. A lot of Zerg players use that as their crutch, hoping to get one good burst on those Banelings to do the key amount of damage, and now the spawning pool is finally done, and I'm going to be very curious to see how the little one ends up coping with this sort of early pressure.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways to really deal with this. You can either go straight for roaches and defend with roaches, or you can go for, or you just skip speed and go straight for the Baneling nest and just defend with Ling Banelings. But lalush really wants to find out that, I mean, he's going to have to move the Overlord out of the way. TLO, actually, here we go. It's going to be a Roach Warren. So he's going to go for the Roach Warren. And lalush sees this, so lalush will not go for Banelings at all. He'll either just go for mass Lings or he'll just expand himself off this. And we actually do see a drone coming down, and we are going to see an expansion from him. This could be just like 2 hatch mass Lings.
Would not be surprised to see him do it. On this map, there is just so much space in between this area and the main and the natural that lots of Zerglings work out very well, and little one manages to pick off 1 Zergling. Every little advantage counts, but the little one is just now finishing up that Roach Warren, and the hatch is up as well, so TLO is going to have plenty of freedom to be able to begin producing a lot of roaches and put counter pressure back on lalush.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Lush is doing this. I mean, he's now building up drones, whether he's going to switch back to Lings or not, but no, he's still building drones, going for a couple of Lings to add in, but TLO is pretty safe. He hasn't got anything on this expansion yet. 2 roaches are building on the expansion. He has got it up faster than the Lush, though, but the Lush might just power drone now while TLO defends with roaches.
And it looks like swinging up the crack at the top side, now running in, going to try to be able to pick off some drones. Will it be able to get any? No. Very nice defense by the little one. Trying to trap with the roaches. It doesn't work as well. And gosh, those Zerglings are just so fast in this game.
And Lalush has gone for a Roach Warren. He's not going for mass lings at all. Even though he does have lings, that's just going to keep TLO on the back foot for a little while, keep him inside his base while he goes for roaches himself. He'll want to try and power as many drones as possible to get the economic advantage, but TLO, being pretty smart about this, is now putting drones out himself.
Yeah, this really is a very nice opening by Little One thus far. He's already quite far ahead of his opponent, but here comes the Zerglings darting to the expansion. Little One pulling back all of his workers. Looks like more Zerglings are getting picked off. Will he be able to get another drone? No! And uh-oh, the main is looking quite vulnerable. That Queen has very few units to defend herself, but look at Little One just repositioning everything. lalush just cannot seem to do damage with these units. And oh, look at the build cancel with that drone, trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, that was really smart by TLO. He knew that lalush was going to go down for the drone that was in red health, so TLO knew instantly and just put it to build gas and then canceled it as soon as the link threat was over. Very smart play by TLO.
In the meantime, lalush has been using all that extra time to be able to construct a whole bunch of drones for his expansion. We do see another Evo chamber going down for Little One. He can begin getting any sort of upgrades. And in the unit counting station, we see 8 roaches out right now for Little One. Only 3 out right now for lalush. He does have 5 additional ones producing right now. But really, if Little One just moves forward and then moves right back again, he will really have cut into the drone production of his opponent.
Yeah, that's actually, I think, what TLO is doing. I don't think he can really do too much damage because he's going to know that speedlings are out, the more roaches are in production. He's going to go in, but I think it might be best for TLO just to turn around. As you said, cutting drone production is really important here because if he hadn't have done this, all that lalush would have done is just build drones all game long.
And there's not just getting in there to do a little bit of harassment, but also seeing exactly how many drones are out on the map. So essential. One of the most important things to do in this game is to get a sense of whether he's making drones or making units. And lalush is gearing up to try to do a surround. There's the speed Zerglings poaching in at the north side, but no, looks like Little One will be able to back out in time. Little One also getting that ever so important +1 missile upgrade. A lot of drones out for Little One. In the unit counting station, it looks like both of them are almost dead even in drone count.
This is quite interesting. We don't really see that many Zerg versus Zerg games that go into this kind of macro, longer style game. We do see a lot of Ling Banelings, but this is a Roach and Ling orientated play. Though the only difference so far is lalush is going for the lair so that he can get speed, Roach speed out faster, and it's almost done, but TLO's not that long started it, so a little bit ahead, but TLO does have the superior Roach count, 15 to 10 Roaches now.
And it looks like that there could be a very key timing that the Little One can exploit if he continues to make roaches with this +1 attack upgrade, making those roaches do 18 damage instead of 16. Little One also now scouting to try to get a look in lalush's expansion again, trying to keep tabs if there are any funky gas timings going on, if there's any hidden buildings going on, as the Little One has had 2 queens quite a lot longer than his opponent. Or is that actually correct? It looks like no, Little One's only ever had 1 queen in this entire game. That's actually very surprising macro on his part.
Actually, I didn't even notice that. That's quite surprising. But +1 is just about to finish for TLO, and it looks like he might be gearing up for an attack now. That actually makes a world of difference. Also look at the production tab. Roach speed is being made by both players, but because of the lair was a little bit faster for lalush, his is on the way a little bit faster, but TLO is moving down with +1, and this could be an attack that he wants to do here.
Oh, Little One needs to be very careful. He's moving in the limbo line. He wants to get into a good concave. He needs to position this correctly. Now he's heading up north, and it looks like lalush is repositioning himself. There's one shot that gets thrown down, and Little One takes one look at this force and immediately begins pulling back, and he's going to end up losing 1 roach in a retreat. And Little One, oh no, is going to try to engage right here. lalush has the superior force of units, but there is that +1 upgrade for the Little One, and more Zerglings swarming in. This means that the Little One will not be able to retreat. lalush is exploiting that defender's advantage so well.
And TLO is so on the back foot because speed is just about done. No, it is done now for lalush. He can just clean up these roaches. And oh no, TLO is on the back foot, and he must be knowing this. He has to build roaches out now. 72 food for TLO, 88 for lalush, and he's going straight for TLO, and he knows this, and he is in danger.
Uh-oh, infestation pit out right now for the Little One. It looks like he is wailing away at one of his roaches on accident, and Little One has way too many overlords at this point in time in the unit counting station. It is only 13 roaches out right now for the Little One. 21 out for lalush, but again, those positions are so far away that it is extremely difficult.
Yeah, he needs to send the queens back. He actually started making a couple extra queens to help defend this because he knew he was on the back foot. But that +1 upgrade kind of saved him there because lalush went in there and thought, all right, we kind of have the same amount of units now. But you've got +1, I haven't. And he is researching it. 3 infestors are on the way and a Hydra Den being made down for lalush now. And that's actually kind of key because as soon as you get fungal growth down on the units that can't move around, the Hydras can sit at the back doing damage after damage after damage, really doing a lot of damage to the roaches.
Definitely. I mean, that is just so difficult to deal with. The fact that the fungal growth can just get those roaches so easily because the roaches are very natural in terms of packing together. Oh, there's a contaminate on the hatchery, preventing it from functioning for 30 seconds. Very useful upgrade in this game.
TLO not out of it by any means, though. He has a lot of queens. He has a couple of queens on the natural and main, but he also has a lot for energy so that he can use Transfuge if an attack does come. lalush might be going for these rocks. He is set out just here, but he doesn't have any creep spread, though. That's kind of interesting, actually, the way he isn't doing that.
And it looks like the little one just going for an expansion. Don't even really think that he has enough units to defend, but is going to just really take a risk at this point in time. Wants to get a good expansion up. No reason not to. If it fails, he can just cancel and back up. He's already at a deficit. He needs some way to pull ahead, and at this point in time, the real danger is the fact that Hydralisks are out for lalush and are the infestors, so he can do a lot of damage by breaking down the center path.
Yeah, he's going to go through the center path, and TLO's opting to go for this expansion. And then also we have lalush, as you said, with the Hydras. He can just walk in there and technically walk over TLO. He doesn't have that much. He has a lot of roaches, sure, but the Hydras are going to be the difference in this. And there's a lot of Hydras there, like 10 Hydras altogether with these 3 infestors, and TLO has to be careful.
Uh-oh, and here's the big push forward, and there's some nice fungal growth by both players. But the Hydralisks from lalush are really doing the extra bit of damage. A lot more units from lalush, and the little one actually going for a huge counterattack. He's going to try to use the fungal growth to delay this as much as possible. Looks like more units from lalush are advancing forward. Those Hydralisks are doing a lot of damage, but the little one has so many roaches moving into lalush's main. lalush needs to do a lot of damage here. The little one trying to force all these units to regroup back up together, but look at the reinforced size of lalush. The little one target firing both the Hydralisk Den and the infestation pit, but it doesn't look like little one has enough units to defend.
I don't know if you're going to have enough here because, I mean, both players have gone for kind of a base trade, but at the same time, the lalush just has too many units, and he is just going to ignore the base and go back and clean out. He's even splitting his army up. Wow, he is extremely confident with this. And just going to move with half the amount of roaches and Hydras to go clean up these roaches that are moving out. He's got to be careful because Hydras off speed are so slow. And here it is. This could be TLO going out right now.
TLO trying to regroup, trying to do as much magic with these roaches as he can. He's been trying to delay this mining, but as we see, lalush is just comfortably pulling back. TLO really is low on options, does have that speed upgrade, picks off one infestor, and there's the Hydralisk falling relatively quickly. Oh no, the infestor ends up falling down as well. lalush does have a higher roach count though, and the little one is continuing to try to run to this backside, and this one expansion might be the savior for little one.
It definitely is going to be. I mean, well, actually, I don't know, because lalush has this natural just fully saturated going away. I don't know, it's so close. 56 food against 85, and if lalush decides to push out now, oh, you got to be careful with these 2 roaches. You don't want to lose roaches carelessly at this. 3 spine crawlers, 8 roaches, and an infestor left for TLO.
And it looks like TLO did get some spine crawlers down in the main, going to try to reset up a defense, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to burrow in time. The queens are going to have to do some huge transfusions, but there's the fungal growth by both players doing a lot of damage, and those spine crawlers are falling so quickly, and there's the good game.
And lalush taking out TLO. He's out of the tournament.
TLO, who performed brilliantly at MLG in Dallas as the highest rated Zerg player, is getting eliminated in the early rounds after putting up, again, very creative play, but that one mistimed attack ended up just completely ruining his chances in the game.
Mistimed attack. I mean, the roach speed was done as well, and then lalush could just chase down all his units. And that is such a nightmare when that happens. It's the same thing when you attack with lings and your opponent's speedlings finish first. It's like, oh my god, could it be any worse for me? And that's what happened with TLO. And then since then, he was always on the back foot. Great decision by lalush to go for Hydras as well. Just sitting at the back, doing so much DPS. clearing out all of TLO's forces. And unfortunately for TLO, that's the end of his DreamHack.
Indeed, so that does mean that we will be seeing lalush, Dark Force, Mana, and Huck advancing from groups G and H. We will be back at 8 p.m. It is a little after 7 right now in DreamHack. We will be back with the round of 16 matches so we can see all the best players in this tournament now duking it out for that whopping, I believe it's a 14,000 euro prize pool. Or excuse me, prize for first
place.
Or 14 US dollars. It's 14,000 of one of those currencies for first place. So these players definitely are battling it out for a huge prize. So with that, I am Day9.
And I'm Diapollo.
And we will see you in about 1 hour with round of 16 action.